do they have like unique food habits, or do they all eat the same thing?
Yes, so not everybody gets grain. Only the horses that need it for calories, or if they're getting medication, they will get grain to go in their medication. So right now, Riptide gets grain because he needs it, because he's a baby and he's growing and he's lost all the weight. Raymond gets a little bit because he needs the calories and the vitamins and everything. And then my big horse that lives in the barn gets grain because he's not a Mustang and needs it.
So most of them, even though they come here, they still deal with just grasses to eat,
Yeah,
like they did on the beach,
right?
Sort of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They don't need grain, and we found actually we've had issues in the past with horses that have been on grain that develop things like ulcers because it's really not a part of their natural diet. Mm-hmm. So, and that doesn't happen to all of them, but
what's that?
This is Jack's supplements. So,
okay.
Which is a good like example of the difference between a domestic horse and the wild horses, where my 28-year-old giant horse over there needs a lot more calories and vitamins and minerals and things like that than the Mustangs need. So, because he's...
Well, and I think we were doing research for the museum.
Yeah.
So one of the unique things about a wild Mustang is like they've learned to live on very few calories.
Right. And it's also very seasonal too. So like right now they're all fat because they're getting ready for winter, so they bulk up really big right now, this time of year.
Looks really rich.
This is a senior feed. And this is what we primarily feed even if they're not seniors, because it's really palatable and you wet it down and it becomes kind of mushy, so there's no chance that they can, well, there's still a chance, but less likely that they can choke on it, and it doesn't have any sugar in it. Sugar is really bad for them, for horses in general.
It's bad for everybody.
For yeah. So it's a really good, well-balanced feed. So that's usually what they get if they need grain. Riptide is on a different, he gets a little bit of senior and then a little bit of this, which is a different grain that has different vitamins in it, specifically for horses that are growing. So. We have 17 horses right now, and we have there's two large groups that came in at the same time, which is not something historically we're used to having happen. But we had the Dews Island mares, that was a group of 8 that came in, and then the group that was going up into Falls Cape that had to be removed was a group of 6 that came in. So that's why our numbers are so high. And the Dews Island mares, they've been a family. They all live together on that island, isolated. So there's a lot of really strong family bonds in that group, and so we don't really plan on disrupting that. And it's good to be able to keep them all together.
So with the Dews, how many of them are like related?
All of them. So there were 8. So they're all related in one way or another.
So when do you think you can turn him out with the others?
Once his wounds are healed. We'll get that'll be the vet letting us know that he's healed up enough to, in case he were to get kicked or start running around.
Right.
But we're hoping, he's got a recheck on Monday, so hoping that by that point we might actually be able to leave the wrap off.
So when you introduce a newbie, on top of that a baby,
yeah,
what's the dynamic situation we could anticipate?
Well, because we know the personalities of the other horses. So Ducky is really, really, really kind. He's good with babies, and he's just not aggressive at all. But he's also really good about teaching them manners, which is what Riptide needs. Because that's one of the things he's not going to get now that he's not in the wild. Is he's not going to get that education from his mom and his dad and the other horses in the harem of how to behave himself like a well-behaved gentleman. And so that's one of the issues. If you're pulling really young horses, especially orphan foals, they can turn into nightmares because they just have human interaction and they don't get that education from the adult horses. So once he gets the go-ahead, he'll go out with Ducky and Viva over here, and they've been meeting each other because they're sharing a fence line, so like they can talk to each other. They know each other pretty well.
So in this case, a little bit of a surrogate dad.
Right? Yeah, that's exactly. Just, you know, and he's went through the ringer. I mean, people loved him, but people also weren't very nice to him sometimes. So he can be very wary of strangers. Yeah.
So I know when he first came, he wasn't a big fan of, you know, his palace that y'all have built him. Does he use it now,
Yeah,
like on a regular basis?
Yep, he stands inside, especially when the flies are bad or if it's raining. He stands inside. He's got a fan in there, and it is a palace.
I heard it initially. The fan was like an evil alien.
We had to teach him that the fan wasn't going to kill him, but once he realized that it blew nice cool air on him and kept the flies away, he was okay with it.
So what other quirks does Raymond have?
What other quirks?
Quirks.
Quirks. Oh, quirks.
Anything?
Lots of them. he doesn't like his ears touched. Can't touch his ears. Probably because for 20 years everybody who got close to him wanted to touch his ears. And so he's really, really defensive about that. He doesn't like to be caught off guard or surprised. So you have to be very, very clear in what you're getting ready to do with him, and he has to agree to it.
So the tail swishing means I'm happy? Like, woo!
Don't come near my end.
Oh, okay.
We love her.